Hey everybody, it's Romania Black. We are on episode 15 of JuJutsu Kaisen and the Kyoto Sister Exchange event. So this is our shonen tournament arc, and I'm really on board with it so far. It's been really interesting. Um, I'm really curious how we're gonna handle. The elders have been like, kill Yuuji, and our Tokyo Jiu-Jitsu school does not know about that yet. So that's gonna be interesting to handle. But Todo seems like the only one totally not on board with this at all. Everybody else seems like, sure, we'll just kill this kid. He's part curse now. It doesn't matter. Except Todo, he's like, nope, not about it. And it seems like he's totally fine with going against what the elders want. So I was a little skeptical of Todo's character at first, but in the last episode when he said that, I was like, I might be on board with you if you're totally not down with this because it's not good. So Gojo thinks there's a mole. I really like the Hime, Urahime. I really like her character in that she is not about Gojo at all. Total opposite of Miwa, which I love her character as well. And so I'm really curious to see what the skills of our Kyoto group is. I'm really curious to see more with Inumaki, with Panda Senpai. Like, I'm really on board with these characters to see what they have to do in this episode. But yeah, so thank you all for watching with me. I'm really excited to see how they handle this. The way that they've set it up is already different than what we normally think of with a tournament arc in Shonen. So I'm curious to see how that develops. But yeah, without further ado, guys, we are going to jump into episode 15 of JuJutsu Kaisen. And we're going to start that here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Oh my gosh, you guys. What was this episode? What was this? The whole dream alternate universe with Todo and Yuuji, that and it kept going. It just was like a whole little spin-off. That was the most hilarious thing that I think I've seen on this show because it was just so cliche and like the high school tropes and they both like the same type of woman. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's so funny. And of course, he'd be like Jennifer Lawrence. Of course. Oh my god. I love that so much. I'd have to say my taster along Miwa's, if we're going by the Juju stroll, I'd have to say Miwa's, although Sebastian Stan, that's hilarious. But yeah, I'd have to say Miwa's. She's on the note. And is that suggesting Gojo's like his type of person is someone like Miwa? Interesting. Huh. No, this episode, I'm glad that our group instantly figured out that their goal is to kill Yuuji. I'm glad that that was like, because I was afraid that it was going to take like the whole episode for them to be like, what's going on? But no, big brain. They're like, here's what's happening. I love the idea that Todo is just like, we're best friends. I'm going to beat you up and make you stronger because you're my best friendo. It's like, oh my gosh. And Yuji's like, I just met you. That's amazing. I love how super protective Fushiguro is of Yuuji. Like as soon as he was like Fushiguro looked super ticked off at Como when he was like, "Are you guys trying to kill him? Like, do you realize what we've gone through to get him back? Like he's our friend. You don't do that." And Panda makes a good point where he's like, you know, you guys have spent Nobara, you and Fushiguro have spent time with Yuuji, so you realize that he's not just a cursed vessel. He's an actual person and he's kind-hearted and he's genuine. You know him, but none of the rest of us really do. So it's not that much of a stretch to say that they're just following the elders' orders and trying to kill him. So, but man, it looks like Mekamaru's ability is like heat-based, like coming out of his hand. The witch can fly. I'm wondering what else is with her abilities. I'm super interested that Miwa is keeping some of her stuff secret. She reminds me a lot of Kento in this episode of Nanami, in that her goals and ambitions are related to money, one, because she's like, I'm poor, help me, I'm poor. But also that she is very aware of the rules and wants to follow the rules. And the whole idea of killing Yuuji in her mind is kind of going against the grain. And I think that's a very Nanami kind of stance. So, and I love Nanami, so it makes sense why I like her character so much. So she's really gained a lot with me there. Didn't get much with Gojo just puts Utahime on the spot to announce to them, but we haven't got much more with the mole yet. But man, so the goal right now is to have Toge, Inumaki, go and try to find the cursed object, the cursed spirit, the second grade, to try to win the match. Because Panda's big brain Panda is like, if we just end the match, then they have no reason to try to kill Yuuji on the battlefield because then it'll be over. We just need to buy time to let Toge go and do his thing, and then we'll end the match and it'll be all right. So smart move, but I'm really curious. From the OP, it looks like it shows Yuuji and Todo fighting the one curse that makes you lose the will to fight, which I think would be an interesting counter to Todo. So that has me interested in the fact that at the end of this episode, Todo's like, I need you to become stronger. Let me help you. And Yuji's like, sure. Man. Interesting. Interesting indeed. I'm curious to know. It looks like Panda gets in on the next episode. Everybody's going all out still. I'm super curious. But yeah, that episode was hilarious and crazy. And of course, what did we expect when Todo met Yuuji? Of course, they're birds of a feather. Of course they are. That flashback, that whole thing was just wonderful. And then when he yells wrong and the subtitles slowly fade, what show? I've heard a little bit of scandal on Crunchyroll that the subtitles are not entirely correct. So I'm curious to know if you guys want to comment down about that below. I don't know Japanese. I'm totally relying on the subtitles, but I realize, much like fan translations versus Crunchyroll versus other providers, the translations can vary wildly. Like I've been watching Run with the Wind. By the time this episode airs, I'll be done with Run with the Wind. But when I watched Run with the Wind, I was watching it through High Dive. And the High Dive translations were very different from Crunchyroll's. So I had to watch both back to back to kind of get the full impact of the episode and what it was referring to. But yeah. Whew. Y'all. I'm curious what your thoughts are below about that. But anyway, what's your type? If I was answering that question, I would say Miwa's answer is probably mine. Sure, they can be great looking, but they have to be funny and somebody that I get along with. So, yeah. What's your type down below? But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this reaction. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, we'll come back next week with episode 16. I'm curious if the battle is going to go on through episode 17 or not, or if they're going to round out at least part 1 in the next episode. I'm curious. So we shall see. But in the meantime, have a wonderful week. Stay safe, take care, and I'll talk to y'all again soon with more JuJutsu Kaisen. Bye.